The question says, what is the square of the HCF of 60 and 108? And the second question says, find the HCF of 9x squared and 27xy squared. So how do we do this? Solution. Okay, so for the first question, we have to figure out the square of the HCF of 60 and 108. So HCF means highest common factor. So how do we do that? So let's use this method, 60, and we have 80. So let us figure it out, the HCF in the column form. So for common factor, so for factor, we look at the number that can divide 60 and 80 at the same time. Okay, so when we look for the number which is common to them, so let us start with 2. Okay, so we can divide 60 by 30. We can divide 80 by 2, that is 40. So when we look at 30, we look at 40. So we look at another number we can use that is common to the 2. So we can use 2. 2 in 30, that is 15. 2 in 40, we have 20. Can we still use 2? No, because 2 cannot go in 15. It can only go in 20. So we look for the common factor that can divide 15 and 20 at the same time. So let us use 5, which is a prime number. So for 15 divided by 5, we have it to be 3. 20 divided by 5, we have it to be 4. Do we have any common factor? The only common factor is 1. So we are stopping here. So we have to multiply 2 times 2 times 5, which are the prime numbers. For 2 times 2 to be 4. For 4 times 5 gives 20. So we have to look for the square of our results. So for 20 square, which is 20 times 20. So we have this to be 400. Okay. So for 9x squared and 27xy squared, okay, so we can approach it using this method in a column form. So we have 9x squared, okay, so here we have 27xy squared, okay, so we watch out for the number. So we have 9, we have 27, we have x, so x and x is common, so we can factor out. We can divide 9 with 3. We can divide this one too with 3. So let's use 3x. Okay. So for 3, 9 is 3. For 27 divided by 3, we have this to be 9. And when we divide this by x, we have just 1x out of 2. So when we divide this by x, is out. So we repeat y squared. So what do we have in common? So we can divide this by 3. We can divide this by 3. So we have this to be 3. So for 3 in 3, we have x left. Okay. So for 3 in 9, we have just 3. Okay. So we repeat y squared. So we don't have anything in common. So we multiply this number. So we have 3x times 3. Okay. So that gives us 9x. So that means the highest factor that can divide 9x squared and 27xy squared is 9x. The question says, find the product of the LCM and HCF of 3 and 5. The LCM and the HCF. Okay, so how do we do this? Solution. So for LCM, which is the least common multiple, so let us look for the LCM of 3 and 5. So let's do it in a column form. So we look at what is the least multiple that can go in 3 and 5. Okay, so we use 3. Okay, so here is 1. 3 and 5 is not possible. We repeat it back. So we can use 5. So we have 1 and 1. So the LCM equals 3 times 5. That gives us 15. Okay, and for the HCF, okay, which means the highest common factor. So how do we do for 3 and 5? So we have 3, we have 5. Okay, so we don't have the only common factor that can move in 3 and 5 is just 1. So we say the HCF equals 1. Okay, so we have to look for the product, which is we multiply the LCM by the HCF. So the product of LCM and the HCF, okay, the LCM is 15, The HCF is 1. So when we look for the products, we have 15 as an answer.